Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. An aspiring fighter trolled on the internet.
They made fun of my weight, said that I'm a pedophile. I've been kicked out of 2 gyms because of these trolls.
But is he really a victim?
You are antagonizing them back. Are you a big mouth?
It depends on who you ask, I guess.
I'm asking you.
Or is he living in a fantasy world?
You say you have to have social media for your career. You don't have a career.
He's never had a fight himself.
This is big time to me. I've made it.
You are delusional.
I'm not saying I'm rich.
Yes, you are. You're flashing cash and sitting in a limo. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Tramp says he left his basement in Ohio, packed up his family, moved across the country to the bright lights and big money of Las Vegas. Why? Well, he says he's going to make it big time as a pro fighter. Problem is, Tramp hasn't quite made it into the ring yet. He blames a gang of internet trolls for his troubles. Now, Tramp says social media is crucial to his career, but according to him, when he posts, haters say horrible things about him and his wife, Ashley, who is also focused on becoming a fighter. Now, they have been called pedophiles, wannabes, racists, you name it. They say it has gotten so out of hand that the trolls have allegedly slashed Tramp's tires, gotten him kicked out of gyms and restaurants. So here's the question of the day. Is Tramp really a victim, or is he just living in a fantasy world? What's really going on here? Take a look.
I know I have what it takes to become a successful professional fighter. I have the talk, I have the look. If I could just throw a punch, we can make some money. I've been training to become an MMA fighter since early 2015. When I found out I was having my first daughter, I started a weight loss journey. I was joining a lot of Facebook groups for motivation. The trolling began a few months after I started training. These trolls started attacking my page. They made fun of my weight. They said it was hilarious that I even tried to fight because I'm so slow, I'm so fat, I'm so stupid, I'll never be able to make it.
There's this one specific Facebook like page that pretends to be my husband. They take all of his pictures, they take pictures of me and our kids, and they just make these fake posts to try and make him look bad.
These people will take my face and talk trash to fighters that I know, personal friends, and say I'm gonna kick their ass. They said that I'm a pedophile. They say that I've sent pictures to an underage girl. They say that my wife is a prostitute and that she smokes meth. One year on Christmas Eve, somebody came and slashed all 4 of my tires. Pretty sure the trolls did that. I spend way too much time on my phone reading comments.
I feel like he should just stop replying to these people, but he just feels the need to defend himself. But to me, it's just fueling the fire. You know it's not helping to read.
Please leave me alone, Ashley. I just don't want to talk right now, man. I have no choice but to reply to these people.
I have spent countless hours trying to make this stop. I ended up calling the police. They said that they couldn't do anything about it, but I could file about it federally. It's some kind of online bullying thing.
Talking trash in the MMA world is business. It goes hand in hand, but these guys are straight up harassing me and my family.
Okay, good to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, too.
So why would people be dogging on you? Why would they be, why would these trolls be putting you down and after you?
I think it has to do with a mix between I'm very flamboyant online. I like to promote myself, and it seems to cause the wrong attention a lot.
Are you a big mouth?
Some would, it depends on who you ask, I guess.
I'm asking you.
Yes.
And you've adopted a certain persona on the internet, right?
Yes, sir.
And you say you call it flamboyant, but you've put yourself out there in a certain way. and there's a picture of you there with money. It's all glamour, you know, champagne, limos, like high roller, big time, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But to me, I don't understand where the harassment comes into play, though, because it's become straight up harassment.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at how he responds to them. You know, they say, you're an idiot, but then we all knew that already, LOL. You say, you should probably check your spelling before calling an idiot, smart guy. Sorry your family had a blank Christmas, but don't take it out on me, blank you.
To be fair, they're saying all these nasty things about us. So, of course, he's going to blow up and be mad and be like, oh, you're nasty,
Well,
too.
you say, of course he is. That's not an of course. Coming up, Trapp says the trolling has gotten so out of control that he was banned from the MMA training team and was kicked out of gyms and a restaurant. We'll talk about that next.
Trapp was recently let go of a fight team because of these trolls.
The number one thing I want to do right now is find a coach in a gym that's not going to turn on me. Keep training and fight and prove these guys wrong.
And later, Trapp seems to dispute what you're saying as he's disputing what I'm saying, but you think he's getting in his own way.
I know two traps. The trap I taught, and the trap, you know, I like, and the trap I see on the internet.
I feel like these people don't understand I'm a real person, and they're controlling my life from outside on the internet like it's a video game. And it's almost like a game to them. And to me, it's more than real.
I want the world to know who the real Trapp Gambino is, not who these trolls are trying to say he is, and all these fake profiles is just ridiculous.
The whole reason I'm doing anything is because of these guys. They are my motivation behind everything I do. The only reason I want to step in that cage is because I'm fighting them.
Well, Trapp and Ashley moved their family to Las Vegas to pursue their dreams of becoming professional MMA fighters, but claim internet trolls are holding them back and causing major drama in their lives. And Trapp blames them for getting kicked out of gyms and even his MMA training team.
In the past year, I've been kicked out of 2 gyms because of these trolls. In my prime, I was training 5 days a week, 2 times a day, with a team I was super loyal to. And now, I'm barely training at all. I was kicked out of a gym because these guys decided to leave reviews on a Facebook page, claiming I was threatening people outside of the gym to wiping boogers on the walls.
These people will go and leave fake reviews at every single gym that he trains at. It ends up burning bridges. Trapp was recently let go of a fight team because of these trolls. These trolls would go and look up the team members' old records and expose it to people, so then the team members said they didn't want to be a part of it anymore. It hurt his feelings so bad. They were a family to him.
The last team I was on, my head coach, Phil, decided to kick me off because he doesn't deal well with internet shenanigans. I decided to make a joke on another fighter's post. He's a fighter with one arm, and I made a joke saying I could see him being the #1 contender. What confuses me the most about Phil is he used to defend me more than anybody. And the most recent post he made about me was saying that the only fight I've ever had was with reality. 99% of the beef I have on the internet is due to these trolls. The #1 thing I want to do right now is find a coach in a gym that's not going to turn on me, keep training and fight and prove these guys wrong.
You say the trolls are your biggest inspiration, but you're also giving them your power, right? You've said that they say you're a loser, and you'll actually go rent a limo and take pictures to pose as some high-rolling rich guy in response to the trolls. You've given your power away to people you don't know. Who are the trolls?
I have no idea who
This
these
could be a
people are.
14-year-old kid living in his mother's basement in London. I found this interesting. Take a look at this.
Babe, you know
Please
it's not
just don't
helping.
talk to me, Ashley.
You know it's not helping to read
Please
this
leave me
stuff.
alone, Ashley. I just don't want to talk right now, man. I just want to deal with this, all right? Just give me a minute.
You know her. She's there loving you and trying to support you. You're snapping at her so you can read from somebody you don't know who it is.
It's just hard to ignore these people when they say, I mean, am I just supposed to like put my phone down and like just not respond to any comments? Am I supposed to just leave it? Or
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. You say you have to have all of this social media for your career. You don't have a career. You're not an MMA fighter. You have to know how bullies work.
it's definitely easier said than done, though. You know what I mean?
Hey, do you think I don't have haters? I have more haters before the end of this sentence than you've had in your entire life. Talking trash, talking trash. They've been saying we've been getting a divorce for 30 years. We've been married for 44 years. The D word has never been spoken in our home. There have been hundreds of articles written and published. We don't even respond. I don't care what they say. I do what I do. I do what I believe. I do what I'm passionate about. I do what is authentic to me. People like it or they don't. That's none of my business.
I understand.
And as a result, it's worked out pretty well for me. All right, look, up next, a guest named Phil, who owns a Vegas gym, says Trap is setting out to be the villain on social media, so he shouldn't be surprised when people treat him like a villain. We'll hear what Phil has to say next.
He talks trash to established fighters. He's never had a fight himself. He calls out professional fighters. He demeans people. He tries to act like he's rich, famous Hollywood actor. He's a gangster rap. Meanwhile, none of this is true.
You start some of this by engaging established fighters, true?
No, I don't go out and pick fights.
On the flip side of things, I've gained quite the reputation and popularity because of these trolls, for better or for worse. I got a few celebrity followers, a few celebrity friends, and people know me all around the world a lot due to these guys. My name's being thrown out there in the MMA world, and I'm gaining popularity, and podcasts are hitting me up, radio shows, interviews, and everybody eventually wants to see me either get beat up or beat somebody up. So usually in the MMA world, fighters have to go out and book their own fights. For me, I gotta use bug spray to keep these promoters off of me. These promoters are attacking me like crazy. They want to see me fight.
Trap, you are delusional.
I get that a lot.
You are delusional. You say I went from a basement in Ohio to the big time in Las Vegas. That is just not true.
What exactly is not true about that?
You have not gone to the big time in Las Vegas. You are trying to get a foothold, which there's absolutely no shame in. I've been so poor I couldn't pay attention.
Well, I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm not saying I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm not saying nothing that's not true.
Yes, you are.
I'm saying I made it to the big time.
Put that back up. This is who you purport to be. You're flashing cash and wearing bling and sitting in a limo.
This is big time to me. I've made it. I feel like there's nothing delusional about this.
You got to fight people off with bug spray. They want
Promoters,
you so bad.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, Phil, the owner of the gym where Trap once trained, says he was forced to kick Trap off his MMA training team. Take a look at this.
Trap's biggest problem is he shoots himself in the foot. He talks trash to established fighters. He's never had a fight himself. And he calls out professional fighters. He demeans people. He tries to act like he's rich. He's a famous Hollywood actor. He's a gangster rapper. Meanwhile, none of this is true. He had to borrow money from guys for food. He lives in a bad section of town. And he's playing like he's a rich guy. It's not who he is. It's who he wants to be. He drops somebody, and then he gets upset when they come back with something. I would have long talks with Trap. Put your nose to the grindstone, get yourself in shape, and fight. Let your fighting do the talking for you. No, he does not have that skill set, and honestly, he's not in physical condition for a fight. He did a grappling match where he quit after 30 seconds because he was exhausted. One of Trap's biggest problems is he makes empty threats to fighters that if it ever came to fruition, it would probably be a death. I finally had enough of Trap's behavior, and he goes and insults the woman on a fight card and almost gets our whole team pulled off. And then he decides that it's a good idea to call a handicapped person nubber on the internet. It's reprehensible. My sole purpose for being on this show is to try and get Trap help so he stops doing this to himself. And I'm really hoping Dr. Phil can get through to him that what he's getting is a direct correlation to what he's doing, because he's ruining his own life.
Well, you're over there exasperated at what he's saying. Well, joining me virtually is Phil. Phil, thank you for being here.
How you doing, Dr. Phil? Thanks for having me.
I'm well, and thank you for your candor. Trap seems to dispute what you're saying as he's disputing what I'm saying, but you think he's getting in his own way.
I know two Traps. The Trap I taught and the Trap I liked, and the Trap I see on the internet. Yes, some of the stalkers are completely out of control. They're complete nut jobs. I don't doubt they live in their mom's basement and they have never accomplished anything in their lives. But he also brings a lot of this on himself by going after people. I told him he's got to ignore these people on the internet. It's going to kill him.
I would like to clarify a couple things. I don't go around saying I'm big time or anything like that. I do tell people I'm an actor because that's what I do by trade. And I do want to be a fighter. So I am a wannabe MMA fighter. But when it comes to delusional, I really don't see what I'm delusional about.
You believe that you are being victimized by these people when you are antagonizing them back. You start some of this by engaging established fighters, true?
No. I don't go out and pick fights.
Trap, did you or did you not take a comment to a BJJ brown belt who competes in professional grappling shows on one of his videos that would not work? And the guy has done it in actual professional events. And you minimized his being a professional grappler, saying that he wasn't a fighter and something about you would beat him up. Trap, I'm here to help. I'm not here to hurt you. Okay? I like the guy I know. Okay? I don't like the guy I see on the internet. I don't like a guy calling a friend of mine nubber. Okay? The Trap I know in the gym would never say that. You're polite, you're hardworking, you're well-mannered, you're a good training partner, and then you go out on the internet and you portray a character that I don't know. I happen to agree. Some of these people are insane. I've never seen anything like it. People called me names, gave me bad reviews, stalked me for months because I trained you and because I defended you. And I kept defending you. I told you at the time, I'm not going to let somebody, what they say, run me off. What ran you off, and I'm looking at the comment here, you told me that your comment, calling him nubber, was an old comment. Then when I talked to and I got back to you, and he sent me the date and said it was yesterday, I told you I was upset because you lied to me.
That's what I mean about owning it instead of being delusional and saying it's about something else. You got to own it. You got to own it. You got to own the image you're putting out, the things that you're saying. All right, you got kicked out of the Y for harassing an employee. You didn't get kicked out because of the trolls. You got kicked out because of an employee.
That's a whole nother situation, to be fair.
I'm sure it is.
It happened, though. I mean,
But
I'm sure it is. But he threatened to slap somebody.
Well, that person was harassing him to begin with, and that's what provoked that.
Okay.
I'm just
All right.
saying, I'm just
Coming
telling
up,
the
Trap's
truth.
ex-coach Steven says he was concerned about Trap's bad reputation causing him to lose business. We'll talk about that next.
The trolls would message pretty much anybody connected with Trap that he's just a bad person, a fake fighter, fake actor, and I think these trolls are just a serious conflict that he needs to resolve.
for most of 2020, I was training with Coach Steven. That's no longer happening. So with Coach Steven, I'm not exactly sure what happened. We just kind of fell off. I have an idea of what happened, and it's probably the trolls pressuring him. Pressure from my trolls seems to break a lot of people.
I understand that he needs to work and make money, and sometimes it's just not worth it to train somebody who could make a bad name for your business somehow. But at the same time, he's a friend and a coach of mine, and I would love to keep working with him.
Trap says his main motivation for becoming an MMA fighter is not for himself, but to prove all the trolls wrong. He says he started to work with trainer Coach Steven to help him get in shape to fight in the ring. Now, Steven says he recently had to distance himself from Trap after his bad reputation caused Steven to lose business.
I'm a fighter for 10 years, and now I promote and train fighters, and it just so happens I met Trap when Ashley had a fight that I was working. Trap expressed an interest in fighting in MMA. We had gotten a call for a fight, and almost immediately we started getting messages from trolls. They were messaging pretty much anybody connected with Trap, saying that he's just a bad person, a fake fighter, fake actor, bashing Trap, making it hard for all our fighters, to the point to where my professor was just like, I can't have this in the gym anymore. He had to remove Trap from the team. It puts me in direct conflict with my own professional career and business that I'm trying to pursue. For them to come in and make these remarks that are negative to the way that we do things. It's a small community, so it always gets around and it affects the bottom line. Trap told me that he didn't want to pursue MMA anymore. I said, that's exactly what they want. You're letting them win. I think Trap has a lot of drive and a lot of avenues he can take his life in, and I think these trolls are just serious conflict that he needs to resolve.
Well, joining me virtually is Steven. Steven, thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me, Dr. Phil.
You've been listening to our conversations so far. What context can you add to all of this?
I think that Trap just needs to emotionally distance himself from that trolls. Like, it's just, it really is bad.
And Trap, you got engaged in a conflict with a woman that was going to be in a fight, right? And they almost had to cancel the fight because of threats you made.
I did publicly post up, hey, I see you're fighting on this card. I'll see you there, with a wink face. And apparently she thought that meant I was coming there to cause harm, and she went off.
Well, here's a statement from an MMA matchmaker. Trap got online and told this fighter he was going to show up to the fight, making her feel unsafe. The fight was almost canceled, and I had to spend several hours on a Sunday ensuring the fighters felt safe enough to continue. Trap almost cost us thousands of dollars. The pay for the promoter and all the employees all depend on the event actually happening, and he jeopardized that because without a main event, there is no event at all. I believe Trap thinks this is all a game and doesn't realize the severity of his actions and how they impact real lives. You keep saying, no, that's out of context. You didn't see what led up to this. You didn't see this, you didn't see that. Is everybody wrong but you?
These people just misinterpret what I'm doing, I guess.
Okay. Trap says he wanted my help to get to the bottom of his online haters and fix the negativity in his life. But is he still in denial? I'm going to bring in a good friend to this conversation that I think can be a real help next.
I definitely have a fear of somebody just being crazy and taking it beyond the keyboard and meeting my wife and kids out somewhere when I'm not there. It's something that, I think about a lot. If these guys are crazy enough to come to my house, leak my address, slash my tires, who knows what they're capable of?
Now, I've invited someone here today because I believe he can have a real impact on Trap. Coach Mike Baer has contributed to countless shows and it changed the life of every guest that he has encountered. Now, Mike has just written a new book, his second book. His first book was a New York Times bestseller. One Decision is just now coming out, which is perfect for anyone looking to make 2021 a year to remember for the right reasons. So please give a warm welcome to Coach Mike Baer. Coach, meet Trap and his wife, Ashley.
Hello.
Now, Coach Mike, you've worked with all kinds of brands, NFL teams, top entertainers. You're involved in the fight world. And it's one thing to have a brand. You gotta have a marketing strategy. I get that. Everybody has a persona that they project. But there has to be some authenticity to what's going on, right?
There has to be some authenticity. So when Dr. Phil says that he feels like there's some delusion, what do you hear when he says that?
I hear that I'm thinking I'm somebody that I'm not, or I'm putting out there that I'm somebody that I'm not. One of those two.
Well, let me intercede here. Phil was saying he knows you. He knows you to be a hard worker, a good guy, a good training partner. He has nothing but good things to say about you on a one-on-one individual basis. Then he says you have an internet image that's not who you are.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. And I put up these pictures of what you put out on the internet, and you say, "Oh no, that's me. I sit around the house, fanning out $100 bills. I lay on the floor covered up in cash. I'm rolling in limos with champagne. That's who I am. That's not."
I mean, that's who I want to be. That's not what I do every day. I do that for promotion.
But that's the difference of who you want to be and who you are. There's got to be authenticity.
I'm not happy with what's going on in the MMA world. And everything else is fine in our lives. It's the MMA world. I want to fight. I haven't been able to fight because of these guys.
Okay, so you want to fight, right? And I've done jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. You're ready to fight. You're like, I want to get in there and fight.
Right.
And this is not to humiliate. Can you do 10 push-ups?
I could probably make it to 5.
So you don't really want to fight?
No, I want to fight.
Yeah, if you wanted to fight, by now, with training and everything, you'd be able to drop down, do 10 push-ups.
Back when I was training, I could do 10 push-ups.
But I'm talking about now. You're saying you want to... What you're
I'm not saying I'm going to walk off the stage and go to an MMA fight. You have to prepare for 8 to 10 weeks to do that.
But you don't need to prepare for 8 to 10 weeks to do 10 push-ups. And all I'm saying is what you're saying and your actions don't match up.
I don't understand that.
Point is that if you are singular in purpose,
Yes,
you need to stop messing with these trolls. Like both of your coaches say, if you weren't on social media, people wouldn't even know you were training. They wouldn't even know where you were. All your energy could be going into training. And then when you get to a certain level, then you celebrate that level of achievement. You don't do all of this stuff before you even get there. That's the authentic part of it. You can be so inspirational with your work, your weight loss, your aspirational goals. You can document all of that as you go along and then share that at some point down the line. You're spending all of this time dealing with these people. You're cheating yourself out of what you dream about. You've worked hard to get where you are. What these two gentlemen up here that get it are telling you is forget about this social media. Be a fighter. Either be a thumb clicker to a bunch of people you don't know, or be a fighter. Get off of that and get in the gym and be a fighter. When we come back, I want to find out if Trap is ready to make a hard decision and then take a strong direction. We'll be right back. In one decision, you talk about the fact that people come to points in their life where they have to make one critical decision from which so much in their life will flow. And Trap is at a point here where he needs to make one decision about who he is not, what he wants to do with his life.
He does, and I think the most important thing to you is your family, right?
Yes, sir.
Number one.
Yes, sir.
And so everything has to line up with making a decision for what's best for your family. And the way you're currently going is not what's best for your family. Would you agree?
Yes.
So what we would need to do is make a decision towards a whole reinvention in your life. that you would change the optic of what you post, that you wouldn't be responding to trolls, that you would turn your story from being like chauvinistic into being really inspiring, and that everything lines up with that, and that you're committed to it. And that's the one decision you would need to make in order to, in my opinion, transform your life and get you what you want. And that's how coaching works sometimes. It's pushing you past what you believe in your own life and yourself, and that's what we would do with you.
Yes, sir.
You would do it.
Yes, yes.
You want that help. And you support this,
that
right?
help
Because
at this point.
the drama's got to stop. The
Yeah.
drama's not working.
Absolutely. Anything that would help him just erase the drama in his life that's bringing the negativity in general. And yeah, I support him 100%.
Yeah. Because you become singular in purpose then. You have something you focus on that you want. And that's what I want for you. But you've got to own it. You got to own the mistakes. You got to own the right decisions. And then you own the victories in your life as well. And that's what I want for you, so you can help with that. I want to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Coach Mike Baer. And I really appreciate, all of your input. Make sure to pick up a copy of his new book, One Decision. It's seriously a life-changing book that's going to give you a different journey through 21 than you had through 20, which it's got to help, right? It's got to be a better year. Coming up, let's switch gears and have a little fun. I'm going to show you a great way to relax with a mini escape from the stress of your day, and it's right on your cell phone. That's next.
And later, a surprising turn when this couple left the stage.
He said, yeah, I was going along with what you were doing at the end. I said, going along? His whole demeanor shifted.
Boy, oh boy, this past year has been difficult and stressful, really, for almost everyone. I don't care who you are. So how about taking a break with a fun and relaxing and free game that you can play anywhere right on your cell phone? Now, I've discovered this, and the game is Solitaire Grand Harvest. And we have a couple of members in our virtual audience who absolutely love the game, just like Robin and I do. So we're going to have a little challenge here. Where's Carol?
Hi, Dr. Phil. I'm Carol.
Hey, Carol, how are you?
To meet you. So excited to be here.
Yeah, well, you look excited. So where do you live, and how long have you been playing the game?
I live in North Lawrence, Ohio. I've been playing for about 3 years. I'm at level 7,500. Every morning, I sit down with my cup of coffee, and I play for as long as I can.
Level 7,500? You're kidding me.
No.
All right, well, let's meet your challenger. Where's Andrew?
Hey, Dr. Phil, I'm over here.
Oh, there he is.
So great to meet you. I've been watching you since I was a kid.
All right. So where are you, Andrew, and how do you like this game?
I'm from Philly, but I'm based in Tel Aviv. I love the game. I've been playing it for 6 months, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So Solitaire Grand Harvest has really soothing music. It has bright, fun visuals, making for a relaxing escape for a few minutes or a few hours. Okay, Carol and Andrew, we're going to put you both to the challenge to see who can finish their solitaire game first. As you know, this is a cell phone app, so grab your phones. You both got them? And the second you finish your game, shout out, I won. Ready, set, play. Now, while they're playing, I'll tell you this Solitaire Grand Harvest is a great way to experience farm life, actually, without doing any farm work. Because as you play and harvest your farm, you move up. And when you go through the deck of cards, all you have to do is look for a card that's higher or lower while trying to play as many cards in a row as possible. And if you're lucky, you get a wild card, which you can use it anywhere so you don't get stuck. And not only is Solitaire Grand Harvest fun, but it also has different surprises as you progress. It's a nice workout for your brain. So it's challenging. Already? Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Oh, my God. Andrew, you got burned.
Very much so.
I have a surprise for both of you, though, even though you got smoked, Andrew. Both of you and our whole virtual audience are winners because Solitaire Grand Harvest is giving you an e-card for $100 to spend on anything you want. All right? If you're looking for a fun and challenging yet relaxing game that you can play anywhere right on your phone, then this game is for you. Just go to your Apple App Store or Google Play and download Solitaire Grand Harvest, and it's for free. And you'll get a special welcome bonus of 20,000 coins to get you started. You'll understand what that means when you get into the game. You can even connect it to Facebook to see your friends appear on the map and beat their progression. It's really a lot of fun. Now, how would you like to be part of our virtual audience? They just got $100 a piece. I mean, how would you like to be part of this audience? For all the details, just go to drphil.com and click on Be Part of the Audience. Scroll down to reservations and fill out the form. Be sure to follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you definitely want to subscribe to Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret with Robin McGraw. We'll see you next time. So long. Okay, guys. Comments or questions? I'll open the floor. How's that? Yeah, Julie.
Hi, Dr. Phil.
How are
First, I just
you?
want to say I'm obsessed. I love you. I'm a big fan. I don't know how you keep your cool. I watch your show all the time, and some of the guests, they just doesn't get through their head.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, you know, what I tell myself is sometimes the most hard-headed guests, the guests that are in denial or don't see it at the time, are the best teaching tools, because we'll get a flood of emails where people say, oh my God, that sounded just like me. I'll never say that again the rest of my life. I wrote a book a long time ago called Life Strategies. It was the first book I wrote. I was on Oprah's show every Tuesday at the time. And I had 10 laws of life. And one of them was that you create your own experience. And we really do create our own experience. It's the world gives us back what we put out. Don't you think? There's a principle of reciprocity. You get what you give. People engage at the level you engage. So if you engage inauthentically and you go, you're going to get people start barking at you. And if you, listen, I don't know about you guys, I'm sure you're all on the internet, but if you get haters and trolls and you engage with them, don't do that. That's what they're baiting you. You can't do that. Don't take the bait. Crystal, go ahead.
Is Mike's book available now? And if so, where can I get it?
Yes, it is available, and you can get it anywhere. It's really a good book.
After last year, I need it.
Yeah, he did a great job. Yeah, don't we all need it? All right, got to run, guys. Thanks.
So I just walked off stage with Trap and Ashley. And as I'm walking out, I'm getting really excited because I'm thinking of these gyms in Vegas that I can set him up with. He said, yeah, you know, I was going along with what you were doing at the end. I said, going along? He goes, well, look, you did a good job out there. And I was like, I did a good job out there. His whole demeanor shifted. He says, everything's working for us right now, to be honest.
No, I just don't like that guy. He's arrogant.
They were just using the show as an opportunity for God knows whatever.
So it wasn't about using the show for hype?
Trust me, I have enough hype. Yeah, I would like a life coach as long as it's not that guy.
I thought that maybe he just had a hard time getting honest, but he just has a hard time being authentic, period.
He was a jackass to me, so I was a jackass to him.
I was looking forward to being able to help him. He obviously needs help, but not everyone wants help. And sometimes when people don't want help, you just got to go on to the next person that does.